Hi guys, so I am debating today. I have just one item that came in from the last craft day, and I guess it was just on extended delivery for that time. It's the Stamps by Me bundle that I had picked up, but I don't know if I should just show it to you because it's all I have today for a haul and then make something with it. And what's funny is I have had in my mind to make like a box that has like partitions in it, and to be honest, this bundle would be really nice with that because I already have everything. It's like ready to go. I can just decorate the top of the box with it, and then we can focus our time on putting partitions in our box. And it's just something I've had in my mind since making the desk organizer, the Tonic Studios desk organizer, and I have it right here. I have, you know, still my glues and everything. I'm using it. It works really great. It's super sturdy, holds everything just like I showed you guys in the video. So I was like, well, kind of thinking about putting something like that together for you guys, but a box, like a little gift box or something you might use, right? So I think maybe that's what we'll do in today's video, because this, again, this Stamps by Me bundle would lend itself really well for that. So let's check it out. It's been a while. I forgot what the bundle looks like. I think it's birthday related, but you know, you can use it for every day. If this is still available, I'll link it in the description box. That would be an affiliate link. Means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. Possibly that little little shopping bag thing here that YouTube offers sometimes. I will say I don't know if HSN is still doing craft carts on every Tuesday of the month. I guess I could look it up, and if I know that, I'll change the information in the description box. But I know they were doing that during the last month, during March. But they are having some kind of appreciation pricing on some certain things. I don't believe this is in that, but I did see a lot of Diamond Press items were like a few dollars off to possibly more than that. And it said appreciation pricing. I have no idea what that means. So it's something they're doing starting today, maybe only today. I don't know. It was just kind of interesting. And not all the Diamond Press items or other items I looked at, just some of them were marked that way. So, and it had to do with like with the Diamond Press things, it was more like there's, no, not the storage, but like the cutting folders and things they've had on there for a while. So I don't know. Who knows? So anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. When I first saw this later on, I thought this was something you're going to make with it or something. Or I don't know. This pink packaging, I had no idea what that was. But that's how it's packaged. Look how pretty this is. Stamps by Me. Create a card kit. I believe she had a couple of them. The other one's like Magnolia related, possibly. So I picked this one up. Oh, I do not want to untie it. That is so pretty. Let me see it. No, I think we have to untie it to open it, don't we? It's tied so prettily, but that's okay. All right. So there's a little tag that, you know, is on there. And I do recall, Tony there with the Stamps by Me said you can take this off and pop it here. So you have a to and from tag that you can definitely use on a gift. Just take it out of here. And then put this there so when you see it from the side, you know that it's the birthday collection of card items. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Oh, yeah. That makes me sad, but I'm actually not going to pull the whole thing out. I'm just going to pull it out in a way that I can grab everything. Very cool kit because there are some reusable things in here. Obviously this box is lovely. The packaging is amazing. It has a little black ink. I'm assuming it's water-based ink because it's just like a little kind of freebie there. Stamps by Me. Yeah. There are tags in here with a beautiful colorway again. Very soft. I don't know about again because we haven't really talked about it, but there's stripes. We'll see it in this other thing here. So like some more florals and just like some abstract kind of backgrounds. These are interesting. I think she said she left some of them blank in a way that you can color them or just add like glittering, things like that. So these are die cut pieces. These are very pretty. Look at that. Flower. I hope you all had a great Easter. Sorry, I am making new videos. I know the videos you've seen were pre-recorded from like weeks ago and everything. And then I had my endoscopy and I'm on the other side and we're doing great. So here we are. But thanks for all your well wishes. Next up, I have to have my wisdom teeth removed in a couple weeks. So that'll be the next one. But anyway, I'm just saying that because this is my video and this is how it goes, guys. If you're new to my channel, I talk about whatever's going on and, you know, I don't like leaving people hanging. So this is like one of the first videos I'm actually speaking with you guys since last week. So thanks for all your comments. And there you go. So like pretty things you can color in. There's like sprigs and things like that. I really love these guys. I love the way they're just cut right on the edge. No white like edges. Like this one's a little bit different, right? There's like wreaths in here and all kinds of things. Look how pretty that one is. Nice size. I want to say this is a 5x7 kit. Sorry, I didn't mention at the beginning. It does come with dimensional adhesive, big squares. Again, if they're too big, you know, just kind of trim them. I always cut this stuff up. This looks like a little layer. Oh wow, these are really nice. That's some thick cardstock. If you're layering this over this guy, I mean, that's really nice, really sturdy. So there's a couple, looks like 3 of each. Design, how pretty are those? And then you layer them up, and you have your guys there. So pretty. Just a little more plain. I think that's all of them. I might have skipped over some, but I don't think so. Okay, good. I was like, where are the stamps? I know we haven't seen any sentiments yet, really. It's because the stamping set or stamp set it comes with has that. Again, super nice, really, really nice and thick. I don't know if I would say 300 GSM. I want to say 300 GSM, like 110 pound, maybe 105 pound, but they're nice and thick. Handmade with love by, and then of course you can just sign it there. So we have 3 of each. So some of these, what you're seeing here was in the tags. I don't know if you noticed, like that one there, or like the stripes, right? Beautiful florals. I don't know if I show you, they are blank on the inside, so that's good. Again, you can stamp it, you can leave it. It's not already pre-stamped for you. Looking like geode, really pretty. That one there. And they're 5x7. You have your envelopes for all those guys. Rub-ons. These are very delicate and pretty. Look at that. Very old school look. Sophisticated. And then the stamps. So let's celebrate. Block lettering. Some of it has like a little bit of a script kind of font. Today is your special day. May this day be your best ever day. Sending you the biggest hug on your birthday. Wishing you the most beautiful birthday. So again, acrylic stamps, I believe. And so there you go. And then she always has some info with her. So there's a little kind of a inspo, right? You can see there what's in the kit, and then she always has her QR code that you can scan and see other projects or maybe how you might want to work with it. So that's really, really nice. So again, I'm thinking I'll make a box today. So what I'm going to do is think about what I want to do. It's going to be very 5x7-ish. Well, I don't really want to cut this card base apart, but maybe we can use like this topper piece and still make it 5x7, or maybe I'll still use a card topper. I've done that in the past where I've showed you like cutting down like an Anna Griffin card to make it the top of your box, or using the card itself. But anyhow, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I took a pause and I was thinking, what is the best way for me to explain this? And sometimes I'll use like a box maker, like a legitimate, you know, scoring board that has the lid and base kind of measurements. I think today I'm going to do the one where I just use like my trimmer. It makes it easy for everyone in case you have a box and lid maker kind of thing. You can use that. But if you don't, you can just kind of follow along with the numbers I'm using, and that'll be fun. I think I'm going to use a cream color base for my boxes, and these are just A2 size papers, so 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And then as I look through these, maybe I will use this one, and I will cut it down, because there's not a lot going on this one anyway. I think it's a nice background, so if I cut it off, it doesn't bother me none. I mean, you can put this on the very bottom of your box even and sign it, so something else to think about. You don't have to waste anything on this if you want to use the top and the bottom. We're going to put these to the side for now. And we're going to focus on making our box. So 5x7, and I think I will make it legit 5x7. If I add a little extra to that, I'm just going to have to manipulate my numbers in a way that may not be great for a tutorial. Like, I want to just make some nice clear numbers for you guys. So let me grab a piece of scrap paper so we can make some numbers here that we might need. Bear back. Okay, guys. And I've for sure made a 5x7 box for you guys before, and maybe I made it, you know, with the paper trimmer, maybe I made it with a scoring board or however, but when we're making boxes, you want the lid to be a little bit bigger or the base to be a little bit smaller. So you're either adding 1/16 of an inch all around to, like, let's say the lid, or you're taking away 1/16 of an inch all around for a base. So whatever you want to do to make that work. You're going to add it to the top or take it away from the bottom, but don't do both because then obviously it's going to be a lot bigger and smaller. One of them is going to be the legit numbers that you want. And so I think for today, I'm going to make the box base be exactly the 5x7 numbers plus, you know, however tall we want it, the sides. And then the lid is going to have a little extra to it so that I can make it work out. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So I usually don't draw it in a 3D way like this, but there you go. So if you have your little box base, what we're going to need is for it to be 5x7, so 7 here, 5 here. And I want to make it kind of tall this time. I think a lot of times I go 1 inch. So to max out my A2 size paper, but I still need the lid paper to be a little bit bigger. Even than that, we still need to give ourselves a little bit of room. So let's say 1.5 inches tall are my sides. So if that's the case, we're going to add 3 inches here. So that's 8 by 3 inches on this side by 10. So my box base paper is going to be 8 by 10. Okay. And then the lid is basically going to be exactly the same, but I need to add a 1/16 of an inch all around, you know, on all the sides. So that's basically 1/8 of an inch in one direction, 1/8 in the other. So my lid is going to be 8 1/8 by 10 1/8. And I know those are funky little numbers, but we need that extra bit because we're going to be scoring it, keeping that 1/16 of an inch all around there. We need that. And then what I'm going to do differently today is I'm going to put dividers in our box. So, I mean, it's whatever you want. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, but let's say our box is like this, and let's say we have a divider here and maybe one here, or however you want to set it up. I'm going to show you how I would make my dividers, and you can use that, or you can do your own thing. I want it to look nice, and I want it to be sturdy, so that's why I'm going to make it the way I made it. A long time ago, whenever my kids were little, like starting with Diego, and he's 23 now, but I made boxes using like chipboard, using bookbinding like materials and all these nice things, and they're really nice. They're still sturdy. They still hold all like the little baby memorabilia, and I used to love putting the dividers. You put a little drawer that comes out, and then there's like a area that holds the drawer up. So like all these things that you had to take into account and make really nice and cover and all that. So I really love making boxes, like legitimate boxes. So this is going to take some of that, but not really. You know, I want it to look nice. It's going to be quicker and easier, though. I love chipboard, you know, from back in the day. You used to have to order it special and all that. Now, obviously, you can get it a lot of places, but it was not easy to find back in the day to do all these things. Anyway, it was mostly like Japanese book or box making because they really have some really great techniques. But anyhow, we're going to make it a little quicker and hopefully still nice. So I'm going to just trim down, obviously I need 2 pieces of paper because I need the sizing I need. So 1 8 by 10 and 1 8 1/8 by 10 1/8. I know that's very particular, but I'll be right back. Okay, I have my 8 by 10 and then 8 1/8 by 10 1/8, which is interesting, but that's okay. So 8 1/8. So 1/8 isn't the one right next to it. That's a 1/16. It's the one next to that, and then of course a quarter would be this whole piece, right? So like these 4 notches. So excuse me. So yeah, so we're looking for 8 1/8, and of course we're going to take that off of the 8 1/2 inch side because you need the whole 11 inch side. Because you need to do 10 1/8 on that side. So 8 1/8. So it's not the first little notch, at least not on this one. It's the second one, right? Third and fourth would be a quarter. So let's 8 1/8. And then by 10 1/8. So I don't know that I'll need this little strip, but if you want to use it for something else, you have that. And then 10 1/8. Again, not the very first little notch, but the next one, because that first one was a 1/16. We'll use that in a little bit. So this is my lid, okay? 10 by 8 base, 10 1/8 by 8 1/8, or however you want to look at that as far as that part. I think I can just fold this over. Now, the reason I gave you those numbers is what we're going to do is score an inch all around everything. And we're going to do it that way because I already put the 1/16 of an inch into this, right? I already added that in there. So when I do an inch, this is going to be, you know, 5 1/16 inch wide. So that's going to sit right over a 5 inch base. So we don't have to do anything funky or do anything fun with our measurements. They're all just going to be what it is. And I already have the larger amount built in here, so it just makes it easier. There's lots of different ways to make boxes and different ways to come up with your numbers, but right now what we're going to do is literally 1.5 inch on all the sides, on all the top and the bottom, so we don't have to think about it. We already added that sizing into this other guy. So scoring, do not cut, right? And we did 1.5 inches. You want to make the lid a different, thickness than the base. You can make it skinnier or thinner. It looks just different, right? So you can see some of the base sticking out, or if you want, like what I'm doing, it's completely covering the base. You can play with those numbers. So we did 1.5 inches, right? So 1.5. So on all of them, I don't have to think about it anymore. It doesn't even matter. Just make sure you're scoring and not cutting. So 1.5, 1.5, all around. I'll just show you both of them. 1.5. Let's not get too crazy. And 1.5. It's funny right now, I had to take a pause because my laundry was kind of loud, and one of my subscribers, Ms. D, I believe, had said, that there's appreciation pricing on one of the items I used recently, and I'm like, I'm making a video right now and I'm talking about that HSN appreciation pricing. So anyway, next piece, 1.5. We don't have to think about it anymore because we already built it in, right, to the size of the paper. So if I go 1.5, oh, no, don't cut it. 1.5. 1.5, and this is actually my box lid. And I can see that because when I go to do 1.5, down here I can see that I have some extra paper down here. That's the 16th. And now 1.5 and 1.5. So these sides are all exactly the same. All we did was already incorporate a little bit larger area down here, and I'll show you if I was to fold this and bring this guy over. You can see where the scoring lines are. Hopefully you can see the score line there is just inside, and the scoring line over here is also just inside because this is my base. It's going to tuck up in there. Okay, let's see about this lighting and everything else. Did I close up? Oh, why did I do that? Sorry guys, I didn't want such a tight view, but that's where we were. Okay. Okay, so you have your score lines. Generally, I don't score these things until after I've cut. But we're going to make this into a box, and hopefully I don't forget. I know one time I went to make a box and I cut the tabs off. I'm like, what was I doing? What was in my mind? I was making a pocket or something. But for this one, we're going to cut up one of the sides. And you're going to do the same from the top and the bottom, right to where, on your score line, right to your next score line, and then just divot away a little bit, right? And that's how we make a box base or lid. I just kind of pinwheel around. So next one, straight up to the score line, cut that away. And I'll do the same thing on the next one. And again, we have already accounted for everything, so all I'm doing is cutting on this score line. So I'll do this one exactly the same way I did just this one. Just pinwheel around and cut those away. Okay, guys. So I know this is my box lid because I had already scored it, where the other one I hadn't scored it yet, but we're going to score on all of our lines. All your glue tabs in. And if you want to, right now that it's nice and flat, I'm going to go ahead and stick my base paper onto this guy. Now this is going to be a little bit bigger than 5x7 because remember we counted it's 5 1/16 by 7 1/16. And maybe I'll show you right now that slight difference in size. It's just the smallest little hair all around the size of your card bigger, right? This one is legitimately 5x7 because that's our base, and look, you can see that it's right on. Right, there's no extra. I'm just gonna cut this in half, and I'll bring it to my paper trimmer. And again, you can pop this on the base of your box to make it sturdier. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that. Why not? So I'm looking at where the crease is, but you can also line it up on 5 inches if you prefer to do that. That, and I left a little tiny piece right there, so I'm going to just move it over and just trim that off, the smallest amount there. Have you ever had that happen? Whenever you have something where it's just the smallest amount you're going to trim, it like catches. It happens. Ooh. I'll still use it. Doesn't bother me that much. I'll just really make sure to stick that down. That's why a lot of times whenever I have something small, if you guys notice on my videos, I'll trim it really fast, because if you do it faster, it kind of doesn't catch, you know, it's, you just have to do it nice and quick, but there you go. Okay, not great, but that's okay, we worked that out. Okay, let's see. Now, which is the base and which is the top again? So what I can do with this one is just look at this guy, and if I have any extra around there, then I know this is my box lid. And then this is the base, I believe. Yep. So I'm going to glue them down, because why not? Again, like I said, that'll just make it sturdier down there. Let me get some glue. So it's just gluing right in. It is exactly 5 by 7. That's awesome. Good measurements we created there. Their scoring tool and everything. So that one's on there. And this guy, I'm just going to glue it right on here, okay? And then we'll form our boxes. So this is going to be my lid, and this is my base. Super sturdy. And all we're doing the same thing with the top and the base is just go ahead and take these guys and glue them inside. And then we'll add in our dividers, guys. Super easy. So glue. Hold on to that. Usually I have little clippies that I'll clip on there to help me hold it. But if not, I do a couple at a time. You guys, I placed my tonic order. Oh, I'm so silly. I didn't know that they had brought the bauble back, which, okay. So they had a bauble ornament in one of the tonic craft kits. So I had that, you know, got it for review. And then they came out with it by itself, but it was a little bit different. A bauble, like ornament. Sold out right from under me. Never got it. You know, I even asked them, like, hey, do you happen to have any extras? I would love to buy it. You know, whatever. No, they didn't have it. Okay. And I didn't realize it came back in stock. So I made my purchases, you know, from March Madness, sorry. And, which actually shipped today already, which is great. And I went back to look for something else, or, you know, I don't know. I was just on the site, and I saw that the bauble was back. I'm like, oh man, okay, well, I'm going to order it before the week is out so I can still get the tiered discount and, you know, whatever it was. And, you know, the days got busy, or I had my procedure and all that. And I go back and it was sold out. I'm like, no. So I didn't get to get it again. Hopefully they'll bring it back again. But generally they bring it back like one more time, and then that's about it. If they bring things back. Tonic, honestly, to me, they mean it. When it's limited edition or whatever, they're like, nope. And they don't make everything limited edition, so, you know, they will bring some things back into stock. But if it says limited edition or however, then, yeah, they usually don't bring it back again. Anyway, so, okay, we put the glue. So that's a bummer, but I'm glad the other stuff is already shipped. I did pick up the memory book album, which then sold out, so I guess I was able to get that. That was great. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with our lid. Just glue them all to the inside, right? Just like you just saw. Same thing. Okay, guys, so base lid that I just created. Let's try it out. Let's give a little test run here. And again, the lid is exactly the same depth or height as the base, so it's just gonna slip right in. And look at that, guys. Very good, nice and snug, doesn't just fall out. Again, if you do like an 1/8 all around, you know, 1/8 and 1/8, so it's a 1/4 all around bigger, it's just gonna slide right out. So you need 1/16, 1/8 inch all around extra, you know, works out really well. So again, it made it really easy because we did the 5 by 7, and then this one I incorporated the 16th, the 1/8 all around, right? 16th, 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 16th into the size. So all we had to do is measure everything out the same, and it worked really easily. So I'm going to repeat it one more time because people ask all the time, can you write it down? No, I'm sorry, I cannot. So the base was 8 by 10. The lid was 10 1/8 by 8 and 1/8. So obviously I said those backwards, but same thing. 8 by 10, 8 1/8 by 10 1/8. And all we did was score 1.5 inches all around on both the top and the bottom, because that 1/8 of an inch is already incorporated in here. So we didn't have to do the sides differently, you know, anything like that. What else? I guess that's it. So what we're going to do is design partitions. Now I'm just going to make it very simple. I'm probably going to make one go like here, and then some come this way. And you can do it right in the middle. You can do it more over here. I'm thinking like tea and maybe some treats. I don't know. I mean, you can, you know, just bisect the whole thing, whatever it is that you want to do. We know this is 5 by 7, so let's do one that's like in here, like I said, 3 inches and maybe 4 inches space over here. So I want one that's 3 inches, and that part doesn't really matter. It's gonna matter for these guys. So if I have a piece that's here, it needs to be 5 inches, right, tall, in this direction for that little divider. I'm only gonna do 1/4 inch glue tabs because I don't want it to be too noticeable, like these huge things. So that means I need to add a 1/4 inch at the top and a 1/4 inch at the bottom. I don't know why I said it that way. So obviously that means 5.5 inch piece of paper. I need them to be 1.5 inches tall, just like the sides, unless you want it lower. But the whole point is to make it nice and like actually doing its job, dividing the whole thing, right? So 1.5 inches. I'm going to double them over. Now you can make 2 pieces and glue them together just to have more sturdiness. What I'm going to do is one piece that I'm going to fold in half. So it's essentially going to go like this, right? Glue tab, up, down, glue tab. That sticks to the bottom. I don't know how to explain that. So if I need it to be 1.5 inches tall, the divider 1.5 times 2, because I want to go back up and back down. And then the 1/4 inch glue tabs on either side of that. So that's another 1/2 inch of glue tab, you know. So 3.5 inches. So I need a piece of paper for this particular divider to be 5.5 by 3.5. That seems right. And then over here, if this is here, and I want this to be about 4 inches, and you know, in that direction, I'm basically going to do the same thing, but I need it to be 4.5 by still the same 3.5, I believe, because that's the only difference is the length of it. And I'm going to do it 2 different pieces like that, and they are going to work independently of each other. Now, we can probably bisect them and stick them together somewhere and make it look just a little nicer. We'll talk about that in a minute. But for right now, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of paper, one 5.5 by 3.5, one 4.5 by 3.5, with whatever leftover paper I have, if that works from making the boxes. I don't know, but I'll be right back. I just had a scrap of paper that I was able to cut. So this is 5.5 by 3.5, and this one I'm going to cut at 3.5, and then take 1 inch off the other direction because I cut it all at 5.5 just to get that started. So by 4.5. Okay, so a couple things. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to score both of these right down the center. Okay, so long ways right down the center. So that should be 1.5, 1 3/4, I guess, right? Because they're both 3.5 inches deep. 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. We're gonna score that. So don't cut. No. Get away from here. Let's put it back. And while I'm doing this, I have this. They're both gonna be exactly the same. We're gonna score at 1/4 inch all around. So I did right down the center, 1 3/4, and then at 1/4 inch all around. I'm lining it up on this side for some reason this time. 1/4, 1/4. Okay, all around. Now, I was going to go ahead and fold this in half and just score them all at the same time. I'll show you what I mean. So let's take this one 1 3/4, right? And if you want to just take that and go ahead and fold it down and now do your 1/4 inches, you can definitely do that. It'll work. It's faster, right? Because it does go through to both sides. So now you've scored it all. And score this side and then one more. I guess really you're just saving yourself one score line, but that's okay. Okay, so that's just another way to think about it. Also, you can score a little bit on the 1/4 inch, bring it down a little bit, because what's going to happen is it's going to be exactly as high as your box, and I don't want this pushing the box base up. So if you want to make your 1/4 inch a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch, go for it. So this is how I'm thinking in my mind that's the easiest, but you do whatever you like. I'm going to divot this away, right? From here and here, just get rid of those corners. These are going to be glue tabs. I guess I could have put them together and done it at the same time if you want to. There and there, that way you save a little bit of time. I'm going to divot away a little bit of this top piece, right? If you open it up, it looks like that. Same thing with this one. And I'm just eyeballing this. And then this one, if we do it together, like I said, you can go through both layers, right? Just take that little corner away. So now we have this piece that when we fold these guys out, that's going to be the glue tabs that are going to glue into our box. It's going to keep this open, right, like that. And that's why I did 1/4 inches. I didn't want them to be too big. Now, I will say, when I fold these, I'm going to fold them a little bit up this way, taking a little bit off of that. Again, they're the same height, the 1.5 inches, so what I'm trying to do is make it a little shorter than 1.5. So we bring this back. This is the piece that's going to go here, I believe. Again, it doesn't have to go in the middle. It can go wherever you like, right? Just come up with your own numbers, whatever you like. We're going to glue that one down. And then that guy is going to stick to this guy. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. And we did do different score lines for these guys, but it should be pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with this guy. Get that going. Take a little off the top. Now, oh, that's probably a delivery. If you wanted this, we're going to stick them together like this. And obviously it's going to be a little, you can see the glue tabs. If you wanted to, you can cut into this and slide this guy in there and it'll look neater. Now, you know, you're going to have to work with it differently. But that's the only place really it's going to be that much neater because you're still going to have these glue tabs showing. So to me, I don't mind just having this one right up against that guy. But let's say you cut a slit just in this one side, slide that guy in there. Now the glue tabs are tucked inside and you won't see them, right? So it's just a little neater. Let me go ahead and score everything here, see who came to my door, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and glue these two together, just so it's stuck together in the center here. Now I do normally use my Nuvo, which is something else I picked up. I ordered another set of Nuvo Deluxe because I like the way it grabs this quickly, you know, so I can just move on. But I'm just going to glue those together and glue this guy together too, right in the center, okay? Hold those, and then we'll place them. Okay, guys. So, if you have a certain idea of how you want to present things, you know, paying attention to, if you use this at the bottom, then do that. I mean, honestly, if you present it this way, that'd be very cute too, right? You know, with the this way and portrait or landscape or however. I don't really care about this being one way or the other. If I was to do portrait or landscape, you know, just depends on how you're presenting it and how you're presenting the stuff that's inside. So this one has the long sides. This is the one that's going to go towards this 5-inch way. So let's just kind of open these guys up. I flattened them out so I can hold it easier when I was gluing these. So you can imagine that's going to be there. And then this guy's going to be here. Now you can definitely cut that, put that second, put this first, put that one second. However, stick it together and then bring it in as one piece. Whatever it makes it easy for you guys. So for me, I definitely, if I'm placing this first, I need to know exactly where this is going to be so that I'm not placing it too far away and I'm like, they don't connect, right? So again, I like to use Nuvo Deluxe to grab quickly. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to put some glue on the very edges, especially this guy all down in here. And I'm really going to hold it down because I really want it to be pretty flat. So there's that all in here. Kind of have an idea using this one where this needs to be. You know, I don't have to touch anything until I'm ready. So if this was here and this guy's here, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hold that down. And of course hold it left, top and bottom pretty straight. And, you know, hopefully this gives you an idea of how to kind of start this kind of thing off. Actually, I just remembered, I wanted to mention at the beginning. Another reason I thought, you know what, today's a good day for this is I got that delivery, but also Craft Stash put out a quick video making dividers in a box. And they're started off with a die set, which is really nice. It's actually pretty cool. I don't really know how it works though, because it's only one die that makes the box base and top for you. So I'm assuming when you fold it, maybe you have to fold with a little more give on one side than the other so that it still fits on top of each other. I don't know. They did 2 of them, and then she completely formed it and then cut it up in pieces and then used those pieces from 2 boxes, you know what I'm saying, like the same thing, and rearranged them in a way that made dividers, which is great, but they're kind of flimsier. I don't know, it's not as refined. So I was like, okay, today's a good day to do this. So I'll show you how I would do it if I was just making it up, right? So there's that guy, that's pretty good. And then we'll bring this guy in. And again, glue. Now we can hold everything together at once. If you want to use, you know, some double-sided adhesive, just make sure it's a really good one that's not going to react with heat later. I'm putting it right in the center, I suppose. What I mean by that is, like, if it gets warmed up, that it's not going to get sticky again and release, which is really annoying. That looks pretty straight to me. I'm not really paying too much attention to that. Again, that could have been up here. You know, if there's something that specifically you know the size of, that you want this to be exactly that size, then, you know, put it in that area. But for now, and I pushed that one too far over. I'm really pushing this down, making sure it's making contact at the very base and here on the side. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that and we'll be back. Okay guys, oh my gosh, I love the way that came out. Now, we did kind of think about, you know, the sizing here, because if this was 5 inches and this was the 4 inches over here, that means it's 3 by 5 this space. So if you want to cut a piece of paper that's maybe a little smaller than 3 by 5, like a little smaller than 3, a little smaller than 5, you can matte layer that. Same thing with these guys. I mean, it's roughly 2.5 by 4, right? I mean, if you really pay attention where you were putting the lines, I wasn't, I just kind of eyeballed it. But I mean, that looks great. I don't think it needs any lining, in my opinion, but a little tissue paper or something else, whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, this is just a starting off point for sure, because I mean, the sky's the limit. So we can put our lid back on. So I love the way this came out. I think that's really cute. Again, you know, if you have larger paper, 12-inch paper, you can make much larger boxes or whatever, but there we go. Handmade with love by. If I had it like this, you know, I can partition, put the things in here like this. I feel like it needs to be like this. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is decorate with these guys. So, you know, it can be very much a birthday thing. You can just not have it be a birthday thing. I feel like this one goes like this. These are all so pretty. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of mess around a little bit. I mean, that's another background. Kind of blends away. So, where's my cute stuff? You know, I pushed everything. Oh, I put it back in here. It was like I pushed everything to the side. Didn't pay too much attention. Oh, I do want to try to use a stamp set. And oh my goodness, look at all these things. And then we have lots of stuff in here. I was thinking, there we go. Yeah, we can do that for sure. This is so pretty. It looks 3D already, doesn't it? There's nothing, it's flat, just a flat piece here. So I guess I can turn that around later, it doesn't matter. If I'm doing it this way, I feel like this has to go like this, doesn't it? And you don't have to use that background piece, I just placed it there, but let's see, it kind of blends away a little too much. Maybe this one? Yeah, let's do that one. I don't know why, this one just really just kind of disappeared quite a bit. So I'll put this back in my little stack here, wherever that, well, we'll just place it there. I'm just going to play around a little bit with some music and I'll be right back. Saw what I did there, but basically just stamped that. This ink is really nice. I inked it up twice. I liked the way it looked kind of rough the first time, but we'll just make it nice and dark, so I did it one second time. Going to go ahead and just glue this guy down, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals, not the one from the kit. It's kind of high, so I don't want to do, well, it's a box, I guess, you know, you can do all the dimension you want. But what I think I'll do is put some smaller dimensional on the back of this, like for my Anna Griffin dimensional, and then I'm going to put dimensional on the back of this guy. That's just the flower that was in the kit. And I'll go ahead and use the dimensionals from here for that. And then we'll just put it all together and be done with our box. Okay guys, so I just put a ton of dimensionals on the back of that little guy. And we can pop this here. So pretty. And then this guy, you know, it's just a flower. Obviously, it all coordinates, and I just thought it looked pretty here. I love that leaf already, so I'm just going to try to keep that there, but give it some dimension, right, by popping that guy in there. I mean, it's as easy as that. So there you go. Hopefully that gave you some info, some idea of how to use, like, partitions, like, in your boxes. It's so easy. Again, I already went over the other numbers, but for this specific set, having a little area that's, you know, the sizing that I talked about, your little strips of paper need to be 5.5 by 3.5, 4.5 by 3.5, scored right in the center, and then 1/4 inch all around, right, to make your glue tabs. And I mean, very cool. I'm so happy. I've been wanting to make something like this for you guys, and so today was the day. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'll have the links in the description box. I'll have images coming up, and we didn't even use the tags from the kit. I mean, there's tons of things we didn't use, but you know, you can even stamp on the inside here if you wanted to. Lots of different ways to use it. But all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.